More than friends, less than lovers, pals. Oh yeah.
Where are we? Looks like we're in some new space. Wow, we've been in space before, but not this particular space.
What do we do here?
Whoa, I feel like maybe I'm not. I feel like maybe I'm different than people here.
No, what? There's a moment
Whoa.
where I'm. Whoa.
Whoa.
What was that?
Whoa.
Was that discomfort, maybe?
That knee.
Whoa, knee jerk. Whoa.
Jerkin'.
Whoa.
It's jerkin'.
Whoa there, knee. Whoa.
Ooh.
Whoa. Whoa
But
down,
hang
boy.
on. I think my immediate reaction is to maybe be fearful, but no.
No, because what am I going to do? Like,
This is where curiosity thrives.
Yes,
I have no.
I'm in new
I'm
territory.
gonna give this situation the benefit of the doubt, and I'm gonna say, I bet there's something here for me.
I'm seeing views I've never seen before.
Wow.
Oh.
I'm learning new things.
What's gravity like down there?
Woo.
Ooh.
A little lighter.
Little lighter, little different, and I'm learning to move in it.
Oh, but I like it.
I know that we said that we were going to tone down on the metaphors.
I guess it is a metaphor.
And
This one I was going to say feels more like we're kind of making a
thematic.
joke. And then it's like kind of a play on words.
But then as I look at our notebooks and I know what we're going to go into and how it all ties together, it is a metaphor.
yeah.
So,
But again, I think it started as a play on words.
yeah.
Because the idea of being like, you might be in unknown spaces. It's kind of this idea of being. How would you describe it?
The idea of being in new spaces?
Yeah, but new spaces specifically where it's like,
You mean how would I describe the not metaphor?
yes.
The not metaphor. It's like, because space can be used, I think it's just a play on words.
No,
You know,
I mean,
that's-
how would you describe the thing that we are describing by the space?
No,
The-
I'm having a hard time tracking with you.
So there's the
We'll get there, guys. Hold on.
the
You guys are going to
metaphor-
watch
no, no,
this.
you're
We're going to
gonna
hop
see
back onto the same wavelength. It's actually going to be amazing.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. The metaphor itself is literal space, like outer space in our world that we have here, right? That's kind of the jokey layer, the story, that we are telling this real concept with. How would you describe the real concept that the space is being the gesture for?
Well, I think it is a play on words, though. Like, it's like a metaphor, but I think space, like when you are in a space, not the space that you hold, not that one.
That's the one I'm asking about. I'm saying I understand how they connect. I'm saying how would you describe the whole thing that we're going to talk about today? The feeling.
Oh, the feeling. I would say that it's, well, you said it and we're back. And we're back, guys. And we hopped back
And were
on it.
you there from step one, or did it take you there?
Who were you with? Were you with, well, and it's not
No.
taking sides. No, not taking sides. I just mean, where were you at the beginning?
And also, this is how communication works.
Wow.
You got to keep going until you get there.
Wow.
No one needs to get upset.
Wow.
But
No,
how would you describe that feeling?
the discomfort. I think that,
Yeah.
okay, well, Maddie had actually said something last night that I wrote down in my handy dandy little notebook. And Maddie had just written, embracing discomfort. Wait, no, hold on.
Are you talking about flexing the muscle?
Yes, that one.
Uh,
Flexing the muscle of
yeah.
humanity. Hold on, guys.
Uh,
See, we didn't have our notebooks in our
I
laps,
think,
so that was on
flexing
us.
the muscle of being a human being. That's to me what getting in these spaces and choosing to interact with them.
Yeah.
And like just be a part of them.
And guys, we're not, and this is where the metaphor comes in. We're not talking about space. You know what I mean? We
We're
have
not
no
talking about
desire to be in
planets.
space. I actually really have absolutely no desire.
I think I live in fear that I'm going to get the opportunity, because it's like, how can you not go if you have the opportunity?
Oh, I would say no.
Also, guys,
I'd say, I have the opportunity.
on track to get into space. But you never know what can
You
happen
never
in this
know.
lifetime. And
I think if I got invited to go into space, I'd go, and I'm okay, actually.
that's how I feel about skydiving.
Really?
But space is just like, wow, so few people have done that. Like, I know a lot of people at this point, but percentage-wise of how many people have gotten that opportunity,
I'm like cool with the number that's been, though.
you trust them?
Yeah, I'm kind of like,
I
seems
see it.
great. I'm
Take
sure,
some
I'm
pictures.
sure it's awesome up there. And like, I would do one of those zero gravity flights.
I'm
love
wondering
that.
if I would even feel any different. I wonder if I would be like, whoa, because, okay.
I think
kind
my
of
brain
back
wouldn't
to
be able to understand
when we
it. I'd be
traveled
like-
to Europe, I think you and I had shared a similar feeling of, I think that when you study abroad, I don't know, I just I haven't gone abroad that often. So when you go abroad, I feel like I expected to be like, feel different. I don't know why I thought that. But then I
Yeah.
was like, oh, it's just me, but I'm in England.
Yeah.
which was cool.
Oh.
But I don't know what I thought England me was going to be
Yeah.
like.
That's the thing. Wherever you go, that's where you are. So the space changes, but
Church, are you
you are
hearing
still
that?
there. It all works out in the
Church in space?
end,
Like if we got
wherever
to
you
live
go.
stream from space, come on. That's what I'm scared
Hey,
of.
don't
Don't offer us
hey, are
that
those
because I'm going to
astronaut-
feel guilty about turning it down.
Are those astronauts still up there? The ones that
They
got
got
stranded?
some of them down, but I think some of them had to stay up for a different reason. I can't think about them right now. Yeah. My thoughts are with them.
Yeah.
And
Anyways, we're not talking about space, all right?
No.
We're not talking Sandra Bullock.
And
We're not talking Matthew McConaughey.
No. We're not
just-
talking Matt Damon.
Oh, what's her name? Oh my goodness, from Alien.
Amy Adams.
No, Alien.
Sigourney Weaver.
Yes.
Sorry, I was thinking of what's the Alien movie with Amy Adams?
Arrival. Where the
Arrival.
whole movie is her going,
I heard someone recently say they cried during that movie, and I was like, man, I guess I
gotta
gotta watch
rewatch
Arrival
it.
again because it wasn't hitting
I
crying
think I
levels
was
for me.
I think I was probably a junior in high school when it came out, I think.
I
And
don't
just
think I
know if
approached
was-
it in the right
No.
way.
I
I
was
think I could
expecting-
appreciate it now. I think back then I was like, Amy Adams in an Alien movie. I thought it was like,
Yeah. And meanwhile, the most you get is like a squid plopping onto a thing, a sheet of glass.
yeah.
some
And if I think
plexiglass.
I approach it more as like a what's the Robin Williams movie where he's teaching? Oh my gosh, We
Dead
love
Poet
it.
Society.
Dead Poet Society. If I approach it like
We gotta
that,
rewatch. We're gonna have a Dead Poet Society episode for sure.
we're standing on these chairs the whole
the
time.
whole time. We're having to crouch
Yeah.
down
This weekend,
this weekend. We're not talking space here. We're talking space down here. The spaces around us.
environments, places,
Yeah.
maybe even like emotional places.
Yeah, we found ourselves in all kinds of
Mental
spaces
places.
this past weekend.
Yeah.
All
That
kinds of people and
Because we left our city, and anytime you leave your city, you're already in a space that you're physically haven't been in. And then we were around just like families, which we haven't been around in a while, like which is a different, like people who have kids, which is we're around
A
we
whole
have
different-
people who have kids, but like collections of
like
families.
groups of like married people with kids.
Yeah.
That's like a different space for us.
Yeah.
And so it was about, we really enjoyed like getting to be in these spaces and hear
Just
from different
observe.
perspectives and also just see what they have to offer in terms of a good time.
Mm.
Oh my goodness, because every time that you like, it's a new perspective on a fun time. It's
Yeah.
a new perspective on a good time. And like, it's all about kind of stepping out of that. And it's always like stepping out of your comfort zone. But not even, I think it's okay to embrace discomfort. Like there's a difference between discomfort and fear. And I think that maybe that like, again, that knee-jerk discomfort, kind of just wading through that to get to the good stuff. Because we had a great weekend.
And I just love getting to like just be a participant.
Yeah.
Being a participant in someone else's world is such a beautiful thing. Do we want to tell them the three main events that we kind of had
Yeah.
throughout this weekend?
The three main, well, yeah, we had an incredible Uber driver. Just absolutely amazing. We hit up some amazing gay bars. There are not many lesbian bars in the world, really, or in America at
Which
least.
is so shocking.
Which really is. But there is one in San Diego, and we got to go there. And then we got to spend time with like families and have like a sleepover with like kids there.
It was
and then,
so adorable.
So we were really all over the place.
Yeah.
We were in gay clubs, and
Yeah.
then we were playing
with
games.
like children and like playing Jackbox games and just like laughing, having a great time.
And then we came back and we spent the evening at an MLK Day barbecue / going away party.
It
Just
and the theme of all of those, I felt like it was so exciting because it was me. Millicent and I plan a lot of events, so we are seeing a lot of the same people because it's like our friends, and like then they'll invite friends, and that's how we meet new people. But it was so exciting to get invited to things and just being like, I'm like getting to
I just
meet
get to, like-
all these new people.
I know, getting to jump into pre-made situation, like pre-developed situations where there's context that you get to be like, and I want to learn about
Yeah.
what's going
What
on
are you
here.
talking
How do
about?
you know this person?
Yeah.
And what do you think about that thing?
And tell me, her man, thoughts?
We're just stirring up so much drama everywhere we go. We're just
We're
going
like,
around and being like,
yeah, I
"Did you-"
talked to her. She said some stuff about you.
I'm sorry, am I being crazy or is she looking at you weird?
Whoa. You keep pretending like there's someone
Okay,
behind them.
her energy was pointed.
Yeah. You have a conversation with two people. One person walks away and you go, are you guys okay? Nightmares. I want you guys to know we would never. We would never
because
throw
that
the grenade into
also,
a conversation
both
like
of
that.
our mutual nightmares is like not confrontation, but just I would say like
People being upset
aggression
at us.
or people just being upset in general.
Guys, we might put out a tough demeanor.
We might come across like we can hold up.
You might not want to see us in the ring.
Come on into the ring with us, and no tap outs.
Again, if you work for the women of wrestling,
We know we
please.
missed the auditions. We didn't realize
we have
it.
ideas.
Believe it or not,
don't
we
even
had
gotta
been
get in the
checking.
ring. We just could pitch some fun. If you're looking for some fun, quirky moves,
There was a time where we were actually seriously considering building a wrestling ring in our backyard. Like we were like looking up the specs, and like Papa was looking
and
up
then people
like
sell them online too, especially around here.
yeah, but they're expensive. That's on the list though of things.
That's once we get the balls,
Yeah, it goes balls,
boxing ring.
backyard boxing.
Ding ding.
Yeah. Oh, and the bell.
Oh, the bell. The bell.
Yeah.
We're gonna need a
I mean,
bell
we're gonna need
budget.
the bell. You
Well, I
guys
think
understand
the
that
bell
because we
is
don't want to
like-
skimp on the bell.
The bell's like a ribbon cutting.
Yeah.
So like once we build the boxing ring, then we will buy the bell.
Yeah.
And then we get to
we
ring it
don't
to be
publicly.
Like, it's
we
open.
would never bring people in publicly to see it unless we had the bell already.
That would
Do-
be.
But we'd be training
You
in the
wouldn't know
meantime.
when it was starting.
And as we are obviously doing the fundraising for the bell, we are training. So we're it's not like there's going to be a time like the idea is we get the bell, we're ready to go.
Yeah. In between the ring being built and the bell purchasing, we've been
working.
training.
Know that we are working.
We are. I would say we're spending a good 2 to 3 hours in the morning doing character work. Then we take about a 2.5 hour lunch. It's long because we're yapping.
Well, we're chatting. Yeah. And we're also, that's part of the work.
That's by trust.
Well, we're chatting, and then I would say the last 15 minutes of that is us getting back into the zone by chatting in a different
In
like,
a different
direction.
manner.
You
There's
know what
kind
I
of
mean?
levels too. We
Yeah,
gotta
maybe
step
standing.
into it.
Yeah.
And we gotta get the energy.
Changing
back up.
levels. Anyway, so we're in San Diego.
Yeah.
And
Oh, sorry. And then the last 3 hours of the day is just fully muscle work.
yeah, we
We're
are
hitting the
pumping
weights.
iron. Yeah. I actually do think truly that it would be having a wrestling ring in our backyard and pursuing wrestling would do wonders for me. I think it would take me somewhere though. It would end up turning into Love Lies Bleeding of like just needing to get jacked.
Millicent,
just needing to be so jacked.
Yeah. But I think, and we wouldn't let that happen.
Guys, can you imagine if I came back like if there's a
David
time
Dobrik
lapse of me-
this.
Oh,
Y'all.
do not invoke the name.
Sorry. Millicent, I feel like
No, it's
I kind of feel like they shouldn't be listening. I feel like sorry, real quick, you guys. When it's green. And mine's pink. Hang on.
Yeah,
sorry,
hold
guys.
on,
We're
guys.
wearing
We're
green and
holding up
pink. If
our-
you're listening to the audio, we're wearing green and pink because we kind of feel like space. I don't know.
Different
That
kinds of
was what we were
shades.
gonna do. And then
Maddie had to walk me back because I did end up accidentally fully pitching that we paint ourselves. It did get there pretty fast.
but our notebooks are pink and green too, which we were realizing. I worry that if you and I became wrestling partners, we would reach a level of connection like no other.
The rumors would only get stronger because we would love throwing each other around.
Melissa, because I also think if you and I got coordinated with our movements,
No, think about the one time we've learned a choreographed dance through and through. We've made so many people watch it. We would make so many people watch it.
See if we had stunts,
And we'd get kicked out of every bar in Los Angeles. We would
But
not
I
be
think
welcome anywhere.
I think that bars might pay for that to be like wrestling in here.
We have to discuss that at a different
Yeah,
time.
that's a whole new contract.
Yeah.
We need so many lawyers for that. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was our discussion. So we were in San Diego.
We were in San Diego, and when you're going out in San Diego, well, first we started the day babysitting, which was lovely. We got to babysit.
My sister-in-law went out.
Penny's watching.
For her
We know Penny's
birthday,
watching.
And Penny's watching. My little niece, you guys, I know everyone says this. She is like it. I hate to invoke AI art. She is like if you programmed AI art to make a baby. Like she just is baby.
Yeah.
She's baby. She's bald still, but except for like the back of her hair,
but
which
she's
is
got
weird.
the softest little head.
But it's so
But
cute.
the real kicker
and
for
her
Penny.
little nose. But guys,
Well, first a dimple, obviously.
she has dimples, so you can see if she's smiling, even if you're holding her and she's like facing out, because you can see the dimples from the back. Oh my gosh,
It's the eyebrows, though.
her
Brow bone.
claim to fame is gonna be these, because she can move them like this. That's her resting state.
Guys.
It's kind of like boss babying.
She is going to wreak havoc on the Groundlings community one day.
Yeah. Oh, we already put her in a wig.
We've already put her in a
felt
wig.
like giving Hercules, like, does he have a weapon? It felt like if you gave Thor as a baby the hammer.
Yeah, and
and
you're
being
like,
oh!
whoa! That's going to be a lot when that baby knows how to yield
When
that.
she knows how to work a purple wig, when she's getting into the mind space of, what is this purple wig woman thing?
Yeah.
She...
It's
Good
gonna
luck.
be insane.
Move over, Will Ferrell.
So we got to babysit, and then we were going out to meet up with our friends who had also Papa, who had also come down. Our
Yeah.
friends that we already see every day.
Every day. The people we live with every day. Guys, this is how we move. We move in packs. Okay? So if there's where one of us is, there's 5 of
Yeah.
us.
So Papa's high school best friend, or
Yeah.
like childhood best friend,
Yeah.
was in town with his boyfriend, and
Mm-hmm.
then just like some of their friends, and so we all met up at some bars in downtown San Diego. And I had never been out at night in downtown because we went for Comic-Con, as you will recall, but that was just a different thing. We wore dressed fully
We
as
didn't really go out at night either.
Yeah.
Like, we were out during the day.
Yeah. So it was great
we were
to
dressed
be
as moles.
Yeah, we were
like,
also
having normal social
fully dressed.
interactions with people.
Even-
we were like, so where are you from? Michigan. No kidding. We have a friend. Our old roommate was from Michigan. Like, we're wearing fully dressed as
Where
moles.
on the mitten are you?
Yeah, yeah, we know that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
we know
Yeah, that's
that.
right, Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan. Shout out Brooklyn, our dear baby Brooklyn.
Okay, so
we
were going to be meeting up. We had a whole night ahead of us.
So we go out. We go to just like first a regular bar, which is near where they had dinner. We met up with like some of their friends. It was fun. It was lovely. We got to converse.
I had my very first ever espresso martini. I think that, well, first of all, I hated the flavor. It was really hard for me. I really had to choke it down, guys. I was hurting. But I will say, I love like a Red Bull drink. I'm always gonna, especially when I'm going out, like I just like need that. I had never had one, and I really think that I am now going to placebo myself into believing that espresso martinis are the recipe for when I'm like, I am going to have a wonderful night.
And
just
the
and
mind.
starting with just one, and I'm just like, that'll be like the kick. Because
it's a powerful thing, the mind.
I feel like I rarely feel the effects of caffeine much because of the ADHD. It just like doesn't really do a ton. But that, it was like cold brew espresso. It was on tap too. It was crazy.
Just hit.
It really hit. So I'm wired. I'm ready.
Yeah. And also, when you get a good treat in you, the night is still young. It feels limitless. It feels like you've taken the limitless pill.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
The world is a different place. It's
You're
full
seeing
of
colors
opportunities.
you've never seen before. Everybody has an
Your
aura.
friends are the most beautiful people you've ever laid eyes on.
They're like, I think they took shrooms.
No, guys.
No, it was an
We
espresso
took
martini
friendship.
and an
It's
espresso.
always friendship and espresso martini.
Oh,
I started with a margarita.
Yeah, Maddie went crazy. It was
like a
cold
mom on
out.
vacation. Sue me.
So then we move on to, Fernando. Sorry, I didn't mean to say his name already.
No, we
but
can.
our Uber driver was at the end of the night technically, but we're going to start
We're
there.
gonna start there because it was
Because
just
our first
and
Uber
it kinda
driver-
ties into last week's episode.
Yes. Our first Uber driver on the way there, because we were going into downtown, and Maddie's sister was like, literally do not try to park. Just don't.
Yeah.
It's going to ruin the night for you. So, which is so fair.
Yeah.
That really is.
Yeah.
We get into the Uber, and our first Uber driver, we had mentioned something about the substance. We're talking about, we make a Demi Moore reference.
Yeah, but
And
I don't even think we said the substance
No.
because we just already knew what we were talking
Yeah,
about.
and we were talking about the movie.
We were like
itself.
talking about Demi Moore winning awards.
So
which we hope she does.
Our Uber driver's in the front seat, and he just goes,
And like we kind of moved on in the
yeah.
conversation.
He just goes, I'm not trying to eavesdrop, but what movie are you talking about with Demi Moore? And it was like, of course Demi Moore's what got him.
Yeah. Sorry. And then we were like, the substance. And so then we chit-chatted about that.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Beautiful conversation. Then he had just seen Mufasa,
Yeah.
and we talked a little bit about how it feels
We're a little confused by it
feels
all, if
that
we're being
it
honest.
is I would say that it is lacking in bangers in terms of songs. It's just
But
lacking
hey,
in
and,
bangers.
and we're two people who have really clung on to
Watch
the
what you say
brothers
about my brother.
We say that probably, I'm not joking, no less than 90 times a day.
Yeah. So we're in that first Uber, but our last Uber of the night, after we have had, because we're going to go backwards in the night, we're going to do a little bit of, we did watch Anthony Bourdain for the first time, his
Loved
South
while we were
Korea
babysitting
episode.
Penny.
Insane. Amazing storytelling.
And he starts from the end and works his way back. And I kind of thought that there was going to be a bit more of him doing like, I don't know, I thought there was going to be more narrating to it. But he was just kind of letting us watch how he had lived his past few days.
Yeah.
And getting thrown into that, I was like, whoa, okay, I'm here, Anthony. I'm here. Coolest man you've ever seen.
Well, I would also, so our last Uber of the night, though, after we have had, we are on a high like no other. We really were just like, we have had a wonderful night. We have danced. We're like exhausted, but still buzzing. We get into the second Uber, and I don't even know how it. Well, we just started talking because we were in a good mood, and that's a situation where you are in somebody else's space,
And
in
he
that
was
moment.
wanting to chat. Like he asked how our night was, and like he was asking what we were doing, and
Because Ubers are, you are in their personal space. Like that is their car.
Yeah.
That is where they spend most of their time. And so it is like such a fun and I'm not saying you always got to do it. You don't always got to be chatty, and you feel out the
they don't want
vibe.
to chat, and I get that. Uber drivers, you're probably talking to people all day.
But there are
answering
some
the same
moments.
questions. How's your night? Good. You've been busy.
But there
Same
are some
questions.
moments where it is like you can move past that
And have
knee-jerk
like
discomfort
real connection
of
as like people.
even the first Uber driver saying, "I'm not trying to eavesdrop, but blah blah blah," and we are instantly like, "Please eavesdrop."
Yeah.
we
We
latched
were
on.
so-
We were like, "Oh, it's literally just us going."
Sorry, that was a bad sound.
Connection, you say? Oh, you want to hop in on this little combo? You want to hop in? on
We're ready. So our second Uber driver, we have been chit-chatting about something, and Millicent.
His name is Fernando.
Her name was Fernando. And he told us, he was like, well, on here I'm Lewis, but my friends call me
He
Fernando.
said, "On here, my name is Lewis," and we said,
And what do people call you?
"And what are you people?
What is your family calling you?
What's up?" And he just goes,
It says
"Fernando."
And we
That-
said,
first of all, put that on the list.
and I think, and we did say, should we call you Luis or Fernando? And he was like, Fernando. We're like, okay.
We
didn't
had a
just
moment
assume
of
we
like,
could
which
call him
one would you?
Fernando.
Yeah, we're like, listen,
we're not trying to cross
No,
any
I think we
boundaries.
said, listen, we're not your family. If
Yeah.
you don't want us calling you
And he
Fernando,
was like, no,
I
Fernando.
prefer Fernando.
He was like, I go by Fernando.
And then he told us his full name. We were like, that's an incredible name.
it was so good. But then Millicent all night kept wanting to, as he was talking about different things. Because guys, so if you didn't watch last week's episode, you gotta know when to hold 'em. We sung that song about
If you haven't
10
watched last
times.
week's episode, you don't have to worry about it. Maybe do, that'd be great. But also just go ahead and pause, go listen to
The Gambler by Kenny
Gambler by
Rogers. We were talking about like that song and like holding your cards, and it was a metaphor, and it means a lot of different things. So he would say a lot of different things that would invoke that thought of you gotta know when to hold them. And
I did keep slipping in.
Millicent kept looking at me behind his seat because she was behind him, and she would go, "You gotta know, you gotta know when."
I was
to hold-"
latching on because
She
I
kept
couldn't
trying
stop.
to get me to sing it with her. So eventually we do. It felt
Because
right in the
he
moment.
had said something, and then I said, it's almost like you got to know when to hold them.
Yeah.
And then we said,
and
do
then
you
he
like...
was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, no, he hopped on, and we were like, Fernando, hop
We're
on
in.
this wavelength. So...
Feels like we're on Rainbow Road. Oh, guys. I think that might have been our first
That was episode 1. It's not even on YouTube. It's only on Spotify.
Because I think we did. Well, we posted a video of it. Did we just post it on socials? Because I know we posted the
We
Rainbow
have
Road.
the lost footage somewhere, but it was
Guys-
our first ever episode. We mentioned Rainbow Road. That's very
Yeah.
cute. It's on our old. If you go all the way back in
Like, to
TikTok,
maybe
it's
one of our
there.
first. Yeah.
But also that was before we knew how
Oh,
to sync
yes.
the audio.
You're right. The
on
video
our
is not
TikToks.
on.
That
Sorry.
was before we had audio synced on our TikTok.
So it sounds bad. Anyway, that's what it feels like to be on the same
Yes.
wavelength, especially with a stranger.
So we asked him. We were like, "Do you like country music?" And we asked him what kind
I
of
think
music
we were like, "Do you know that song?" Yeah, we were asking what kind of music,
And then it got on to country music, and he had mentioned that he liked one artist, and I don't remember who the artist was that he had mentioned. But then we were like, well, if you like country music, because I think he said I like the Stories or something, and we were like,
oh,
and that
he
was
said, guys, when the universe
just-
gives you these gifts, take them. That's what it wants. It wants to see the pleasure of
Because
you
he
opening
said-
that gift and saying, "There's human connection."
yes, because we were already hoping for an excuse to ask him to play the song, but we also,
It's his car. We weren't gonna be like playing
and
the song.
sometimes they're pretty upfront about being like, "What do you if you want to play or if
Yeah.
there's an aux?" But like he hadn't
if
said
they're not
anything.
offering,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like.
This is your car, you're not.
Yeah.
Who am I?
And also, sometimes again, I like getting on the wavelength of what's this Uber driver been listening
Yeah.
to driving around.
Oh yeah, because we've gotten some fun
Unexpected
ones.
things.
Yeah. So anyways, once he said I like the Stories, we were like, we've got a story for you. So then he queued it up and he played it. And we all got to sit in the car singing it. And by the end, he's singing it with us. Guys, by the last chorus, when we're all singing together, you gotta know.
I did
when
take
to
an audio
hold 'em.
recording, and I'll probably play it.
Fernando, never. Fernando, never count your money. You're sitting at the table. Never.
Guys, it was euphoric on a level. Maddie and I looking at each other. I think there were a couple times where we looked at each other and there was
It
like
was like
this
the bungee.
knowing in our eyes of like,
It
yeah.
felt like when we were flying in the bunch.
Yeah, where it's like the knowing in our eyes of this
This
is
is
what
special.
living is for.
Yep.
This is
It
what
was
living is for. But
so
that moment
special.
of connection was truly amazing.
And his willingness. Oh, and then he was like, "Oh, the only country song I really know is he." And he played that
Baby, lock them doors and turn them lights
So then we were talking about Scotty McCreery. He didn't know
Yeah.
who Scotty McCreery was. He starts singing though,
Because we
very
said
well. And we were like, Fernando,
yeah. Well,
you could be
and
the
then
next Scotty McCreery.
and then he said he was just like, sometimes I think I'm too like Mexican to do country
Yeah.
music.
And
And we
we
were like,
said-
that's what we need.
Fernando, that now more than ever.
Yeah.
We
You
need
saying
out
that
there.
has just sealed your fate
Yeah.
as the next Scotty McCreery.
So look out for Fernando because he's going to be all up in your Spotify.
Benson
iTunes.
Boone, look out.
Yeah.
Flip it out of here. And, we
And he
believe
does
that.
cartwheels. What's Fernando's thing going to be?
I don't know. Fernando's like, I don't do cartwheels. We
How about
did.
just singing?
Guys, this is, we also have had, I feel like we could mention the cards thing because I think it's kind of funny.
Oh, yeah.
We have started carrying around, we printed out, we were making just, what's the word for prototypes of just like business cards or stuff to have.
Because
And-
sometimes people have like asked in
Yeah.
public.
And other times we have met people and been like, we want to like connect with them, but at the
Yeah.
same time, it feels so. So, anyways, we have these cards that we had printed, and like they just say "Got Pals" on them with our like handle.
Which I will say,
And
in
we've
theory,
really- yes.
In theory, I think it'll be good to hang up as a flyer to
Yes.
get someone to
Yes.
approach. But we've realized, like, because we've
feels-
made some connections with girlies in coffee shops, and then be like, we want to give this to them, but it,
But it
feels,
feels-
weird. It feels mean being like, do you have friends?
but it also feels like,
We don't mean it that way.
and also it is so hard to not feel just blatantly like I'm being like it is not for the purpose of like follow us.
No,
It's more
I
so
want to
like
get to know you.
we feel like we might be on the same,
Same
wavelength here.
yeah.
So, but so that
So we
all
gave
that-
him one of our cards.
We did, and it was great. But
It was an amazing time. So that's kind of our intro to the space. Oh, and we do need to pause and come back, and that's not the end of it. Remember, guys, we're Anthony Bourdaining this. We're starting at the end.
You guys got to hear where we were beforehand and how we got on that wavelength.
But just know that's the
Up
height it
next,
hits.
gay bars.
We were in many different spaces
Ooh, faces. Yeah, that's right, guys. We're back.
this weekend, and one of them that we don't frequent, but we've done before, but we have never done in San Diego, was
Yes.
we went to some gay bars,
Mhm.
and okay,
Let's get this out of the way, guys. We've talked about it before, and it's even our tagline.
yeah.
More than friends, less
Less
than
than
lovers.
lovers.
Because when we walked into the first bar, that wasn't a gay bar. We weren't even at the gay bar yet, okay? We walk in, and our papa's, they're our friends now. So our
Yeah.
friend, his boyfriend, who was meeting us for the first time, said, wait,
You guys aren't together,
you guys aren't dating?
and it was really earnest.
Very
which,
sincere.
Again, we get,
We get it.
and it happens.
We're used to it.
And we were like, oh no, we're not. It is so funny too because we introduce ourselves as roommates. It always sounds like we're lying, like us being
Yeah.
like, "She's my roommate."
And again, we've always talked
Like-
about too. It doesn't feel right to say roommate either.
No.
and that's why we had to come up with pals.
Pals.
But also, then we have to go into a whole pitch thing. If
so
we
the
say
sooner
that,
that we can all start using pals as this term, the better.
the better.
It's, gonna be
It's
for
been
all
really
of us.
hard for us, and also in terms of our extended families,
It's just
We
easier
need
to
them to-
explain. It's
yeah.
like, will she come on some vacation sometimes? Like,
Yeah.
but it does feel
yeah,
like.
I'll be at some holidays.
and not to bring up my niece again, but we were laughing at where it feels like my niece is gonna tell her friends someday, like, "Oh, that's my aunt's special friend,"
roommate.
and everyone's gonna be like, is your family like homophobic? And she's gonna be like, no, that actually is her special friend. Like, it's not her girlfriend. That's why we need to say pal.
yeah,
So we get the confusion, but so I am straight. This is, guys, and again, we are in a place of privilege. I'm a straight white woman. So know that we are coming into that knowing that this world is mostly built for us. So me entering the space, it's an honor for me.
I almost said even as a straight queer woman, and then I was like, wait, no, as a
The word
queer
you're looking
white
for is
woman.
bi, baby. It's bi.
Oh, baby, no, that's
Oh, baby, they have a term for that.
They did. Don't erase.
Don't erase.
So Maddie, however, I mean, just the epitome of a pally, which we did have that breakthrough recently, pally. And
Is
you
that
better
not-
believe.
Guys, our
Guys.
Pride collection's going to go crazy because along with a Pal shirt, we're obviously going to release shirts for you and your pal if you were in such a situation as ours.
Because when we went out in June for Pride, I came out in June, like publicly. And so this was like our first big Pride. And of course, my brother's going to be there and I'm begging her to go. But there was a moment of like Maddie kind of being like, I just don't know that I want to be the only person, like only straight person here. Like,
I wanted to support my pal, but I also understand that those spaces are so that people can feel safe there and like not and know that you are
And-
with like similar
Yes.
people.
and Maddie has had, and I am not, Maddie has
I
had.
feel like we need to address it now.
Maddie's fashion, and Maddie is just so amazing, obviously. And so I think a big part of that is because a lot of her
I feel like I'm on
influences
trial.
are from the queer world. However, there have been
I like what you all are doing.
there have been moments where Maddie has walked out and her roommates have Papa and I have had to say that's queer baiting. You actually
if wearing
cannot
cargo
wear that.
shorts is a crime, lock me up, y'all.
It's not a
Listen,
crime,
it's
guys.
not-
It's
I want you
because of
guys
the
to
fact
know
that
it's not. I don't think it's always fair judgment because I do think that just because I want to wear a collared shirt every once in a while.
Okay, a collared rugby shirt. Guys, she's wearing rugby shirts. Do you have any idea how many vests this person has? Do you have any idea? How am
I told you my coworker that one time after I'd probably worn maybe 3 different vest outfits to work. She was like, my coworker who is a lesbian was like, Maddie, how many vests do you have? Which I know. Let me tell you, because thank you again, I'm in that space enough. I know what that means. And I can't answer it how you want me to answer it.
Can I give our pal recommendation for the week?
Please.
It's what we watched right before
Yes,
starting this.
Yes, and I would love to platform him.
Yes. Us platforming him. He has so many followers.
No,
like,
but I think
is so
if we're-
successful.
I know that if you like us in any
You
way,
will like him.
You'll like him.
Chris
he's
Fleming.
he's way above us.
Chris Fleming. He's gone viral a couple of times throughout the years,
You've
so you
probably
may
seen
have
him.
seen him. He did that video that was moms before
Yes,
company comes
my
over.
family quoted that all the
Yeah.
time.
We can't let people know we lit.
He is doing observational comedy in a way that is like, this is the next level of
Mm-hmm.
observational comedy. It's just so specific.
Here's our recommendation for your bit. It's on TikTok primarily, I think, is the best place
Mm-hmm.
to find that. Or he probably puts it on Reels too.
Yeah.
Look up him talking about the lesbian elite.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
said he's been invited into the lesbian elite community.
And his observational comedy on the lesbian community is genuinely
it's
just so funny.
specific and accurate.
Yes. So anyway, Maddie has been in theater forever. Maddie is surrounded
I mean, I
at
am
all
also in that
times.
space.
Yes, Maddie is the epitome of a pally. That's just what we'll say. And yes,
enjoy
she
being here.
and she's straight, and that's okay. That's fine.
And also, I think I was built this way to like make people
Yes.
feel at ease.
Okay, so when we went out
Like
during
when I am
Pride,
in that
though,
community.
to make Maddie feel better, I had
Not to make me feel better.
Well, also,
well,
it
I
was
guess
funny
to make me feel
too.
better of I did
Yes,
not want
no,
to
no.
feel like I was imposing on this, but I did want to be there for my
I think
friend
to
celebrate
assuage
this.
your concern,
Yes.
and also because this would have been, it was funny, and we thought it would be fun. I made her a shirt. I like got out my paint pens, got out a blank ringer tee that I had laying around, and made her a shirt that said "Token Straight," and she wore that the whole night.
And it's also important because it's like if we're going out, they need to know we're not together. It's important for
That's the biggest problem, guys. That's the biggest problem because, again, we get it,
we get it.
but at the same time,
And are we going to spend most of our night talking to each other no matter where we are?
Yeah.
Probably.
But at the same time,
We don't want to.
I don't want
We don't
people
want to
thinking I'm
stifle any
spoken for,
other
you get me?
friendships that may be made. So Millicent made me this adorable little token straight shirt. So trust, if you are a pally like me, you will. When Pride comes around, we'll definitely have token straight shirts.
Yeah, it's a great shirt to wear as a straight person to Pride because one,
And it
you are
feels so
identifying
welcoming.
yourself, and
Mhm.
it's very like fun and yeah.
It's a silly way to be like,
Token straight.
I'm here to just add to the vibe. So we went out.
But that's also the idea too of, in this case, well, also a lot of times it is more gay bars, so it's less like it's less like queer women and
Yes.
more like
Gay
gay men,
men.
which I think like that's why
Which can,
going
and
into,
I also, I'm not trying to brag. I do pretty well in those circles too.
listen, we're having a great time.
Listen, you best believe in 9th grade, yeah, some boys were playing me Lady Gaga in the car and telling me that she spoke to them. Yeah, buddy, I get it. Yeah, I get it. And I'm glad that you feel comfortable enough to tell me that because I'm there too.
But in that, we had at that, we went to, there's a place called Gossip Grill instead of Gossip Girl. And it is literally one of the only like lesbian, like overtly lesbian
Yeah, yeah.
bars. Also, just the neon signs in a lesbian bar. Gay bars in general, but like
Yeah.
like per square footage lesbian sign, like lesbian sign, neon sign ratio
They're
in
saying
a lesbian or gay bar in general.
Whatever the max size is,
Crank it.
they're doing that.
Crank
Pink, neon pink.
Yeah, I ordered the drink menu. To order
Oh
those
my
drinks out loud,
goodness.
my God.
Oh my
Hey,
goodness.
guys.
Hey.
Hey. I know that
you
there's
though,
only
and that's why we
one.
need more than one because I feel like all that energy is going into this, and I get it.
Guys, I can't say the drink menu aloud. I'll say what I ordered.
Our families won't speak to us.
I had to order a drink that was an alliteration, and it was a fruity beverage, of course, which I do love. I really
They were
appreciate
great
that.
drinks. Let's be clear.
Amazing,
Incredible drinks.
I had to purchase a drink, and the bartender, it's loud in there, so I'm having to like yell this, and I had to be like, "Yes, can I get a punch?" I had to say it, the punch.
And it
But
feels
I had
like
to
someone's
say-
gonna come out.
And let me be
and
clear
hurt
though,
you.
in that moment, of course, I'm not in this space of all spaces. I'm not gonna censor that word, so I'm yelling it.
No, and it's welcomed, but it is a little bit like it feels almost like a gag, like
Guys,
somebody's gonna come out.
The name of their espresso martini. I didn't get the espresso martini there, and that's not why, but just because. If you've heard,
I can't say that.
I hate to say this, but if you've heard JoJo Siwa's most recent like coffee related song, it's along those lines.
It's got that energy.
And it's just like, it feels almost like an initiation to be there of like, no, you got to say it with your chest. Yeah. You got to say it with your chest.
Which is kind of
every
special and
bartender,
freeing, I'm sure.
There was not a sleeve behind that bar. Every bartender sleeve's gone. It was amazing.
And why would they need them?
And why would they need them?
You got to see the tats.
Exactly. So we're there. It's amazing. Like, very fun.
Great time. They're playing fun music.
Yeah.
We're dancing. And again, like
We are
this is-
continuing to be accused of being together by our friend's friend who had just met us.
Yeah. Our friend's boyfriend had like, again, we had met him 30 minutes before, and he really would not like. You know when you start to learn who a person really is. You start to learn. Oh, he's the kind of guy that
he's a
doesn't drop a bit.
Oh, that's a little
He won't stop till he gets his way. So
Yeah.
he kept being like, "But you guys are gonna get together eventually, right?
Yeah.
You guys are gonna, we have
Oh,
to
but like one
Peter,
day. And then he was
you
like, but
are
you guys have
also-
kissed, right?
You are ruining every opportunity for us to make those jokes ourselves.
Yeah.
Because we do like making them.
Yeah, it's fun for us.
We like to acknowledge, hey, have
Not
we
in
been-
this place.
only
There
been
were a
talking to
couple of
ourselves?
times where Maddie and I were dancing, and then I had to remember, and I had to push her away. I didn't push you away though. Actually, we just kind of be like, "Whoa!"
But I'm conscious of it. I want you guys to know I play my part.
Maddie was actually
I
more
stay
on
in
it.
the space that I'm welcome. Thank you for this 1x1 cube feet to dance. That's all I need. I'll be here, just being a beautiful plant in the corner,
Meanwhile, our friend Caleb is literally throwing,
rocketing people.
just
With his
throwing
back
us
end.
around, just absolutely just doing like bend and snaps, and suddenly I'm flying.
He's powerful
It was amazing
in a way that I can't imagine being.
No, I really can't. So we go to the next bar though. And well, I think we went to one and there was a cover and we were like, nah.
Oh,
it was like
yeah.
$20 and we were,
We were like, but there's a free one right there.
and our friend knew the bouncer from high school. And so she literally was like, we were like, go ask if we could get it over the cover. No. And that's so fair. Her being like, I have 6 people.
Yeah,
Can
it was
we-"
a lot.
Yeah,
It
we
was
were
a lot
asking a
to
lot.
ask.
But she is one of our most objectively beautiful friends. So we were like,
so
why
if
not
she
try?
can't get in, and it's nobody's
Then
getting
no
in.
one's getting in.
But I think if it had just been like her or a friend, she would have gotten in.
Us just being like,
being
will you
like,
give us
her
$180
being like-
worth of entrance?
Her being like, can
please?"
you let them in? Us in the background.
Dripping in sweat.
She's
Oh,
like, I
we've been
swear
dancing.
they're cool.
Still vibrating from my espresso martini.
Um,
Frothing at the mouth over the elote we see
They're
across
friendly.
the street. We bring the vibes.
dripping in sweat.
So
we
went
get in there. Ba-na-na.
Yeah. Guys, the last place we went to, this was where the night became perfect.
We had like a little bit of. We were all still a little hot from the last place, so we like stood outside for a minute
And they
chatted.
we managed to get even a table in the corner where we were able to have like
We
stools.
could kind of relax and chit chat for a moment. 'cause
some
when it's been
waters.
loud for that long.
Yeah. And then, well, first we went in once for the first time when we got there. We went into the dance floor and it was pretty packed.
Yeah.
At one point, one of the dancers started dancing with Maddie. Maddie felt
I
bad.
felt bad. I didn't have any money, and then I was like, "You're spending a lot of time on me." And
And then he put her in a headlock at one point.
Yeah, I don't know if that was because I didn't have
That
any
was
money. Again, I
crazy.
tried to make it clear. I
It
didn't
was
have
a
any money
playful
to
headlock,
start.
but
I
it
was an
was-
oopsie. I didn't know he was going to be there.
Undeniably a headlock.
And that was on
though.
me, but I was unprepared. And
Yeah.
nobody knew that they were going to be there.
So
to
we
be
had
clear.
left at that point because it was really crowded. I think one of us had already, I had already accidentally hit Papa's beer at one point. And then at one point she fully hit my hand that was full of water just down my shirt.
We were
so
'cause
we,
in limited room and we were dancing.
and so we took a beat outside. We're resting.
It was very nice.
And then we start to hear, like, I think they must have switched DJ. It wasn't that
And
they
I think
switched
someone
DJs.
had to go inside. Bree was going to the bathroom. So we were all like, okay, we'll get up and now and we'll go
Yeah.
dance while she's about.
Guys, it was one of the few times, because I will say 90% of the time that we go out, if there is a complaint afterwards, if there is any form of like a I just wish ... it is always music related of I just wish they had played songs people knew, and also just,
and even if it's not songs people knew, I want to be like, whoa, I'm being like introduced to some cool music.
yeah, like,
that's,
oh, this beat is really fun, or
yeah,
like I can like get into
it's
this.
going with the vibe. But like
Far
so
too often it is just
this
like,
DJ, as soon as we get in,
guys,
he is playing Dancing on My Own by Robin.
Okay.
I keep dancing on
and then
my
it starts
own.
blending. It was one of those DJ nights too where you're listening to his set and you are like, it's like reveals of each time he like is blending things together.
Yeah.
And it was so satisfying because every song back to back banger. And if I didn't know one song, I knew I'd probably know the song he
next
mixes
one,
it with.
and which was so fun. Like then I get to learn a new song and I know one of the songs.
You guys,
The next song he mixes it with is We Can't Be Friends by Ariana Grande. We can't be friends. That one.
I keep dancing. Like we try to do acapella.
Can't be friends.
Guys, there will be a Pitch Perfect Pals episode at some point. But we're going to need a lot of
gonna
you to
do
be
the whole
involved.
routine at
We'll
the
send
end.
out the sheet music,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. Yeah. Start learning the routine.
So we all go in there, and it was really funny because we had all been in the corner outside. We had all stood up, and we just walked in.
Mm-hmm.
There was a perfect space on the
Yeah.
dance floor.
Just
the
honestly, like
perfect
a
amount of
spotlight
room.
was kind of on it. Like we went in because there was this kind of lights flashing.
No words. I don't think we all spoke for the next
Like
8
truly
minutes
until that song was done.
We were dancing. Like, guys, we were dancing like no one was watching. Can I say that? Can I say that?
We that is how it felt.
And
we were the
people-
only people in the room.
It really did feel like that. And it was incredible. And it was song after song. And when that song ended and we all kind of like looked around at each
We took
other,
a pause and
it
we all
almost
went,
felt awkward. Like it was
whoa.
almost like, whoa, oh my gosh.
Oh.
Sorry about that. Oh my gosh.
Wow, we got carried away there.
Us on the dance floor just making out, you know.
And Peter's like, they were together.
Maddie is
No.
on me. Yeah. No,
Guys,
that was,
this-
we were all truly just like, each person was having their Scarlett Johansson.
It was
Marriage
white women dancing.
Guys, the way that like,
and it feels
is
good.
and
Do
it feels so good.
If you guys remember,
Listen,
I feel like
that's
the
who-
Scarlett Johansson meme got big because people were like, "Ha, that's funny," and then people started doing it, and I think they realized how good it felt.
It feels
Just to
great.
not care how dumb you look.
Yeah. And guess what? This arm going here, then going up, that's what feels most normal to me. I'm going to dance.
We trained. We went to Body Jam on Friday night in Gold's Gym, Hollywood,
Okay.
for this moment.
Did we ever even give them the video? We didn't even ever post the video of us.
Doing it? No. Well, we thought TikTok was gonna.
We thought
get
TikTok
banned.
was going to die.
We don't.
So we're at that bar, and it
was
was just, it was
such a
truly
blast.
amazing. So then at one point, they also they were doing Chapel Rowan, obviously. And it was just like such a good time.
Getting to
and
sing with your friends
Yeah.
and dance with
then
your
Papa
friends.
rejoined us, and it almost felt like, we almost
Oh,
felt
we
like
have a friend. A lost
yeah.
piece was found.
It felt sad. We were like, we're sad that you weren't there for that moment
Yeah.
because it was ineffable. I don't know how
Yeah.
to explain it.
Yeah, we actually shouldn't even talk about it
Yeah,
because it's
almost
gonna
feels
feel
like
rude.
we were cheating on you,
yeah,
all of us.
all of us collectively behind your back. But we couldn't control it. That's
No.
what the music wanted. That's what the DJ said.
So then the group it's pretty late at this point. Group starts splitting off.
our Uber's like 3 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
So they were like, okay, we're gonna go. Theirs was there.
Then our Uber's 3 minutes away. We're like, let's go in and dance some more.
Yeah, because we hear.
Guys, we're outside and we hear
Guys,
the
you
way
couldn't
we
tell.
sorry, that was not a great depiction of it. The Challengers soundtrack song comes on. We're both sitting at this table and we're looking at the Uber thing go up. The music's rising. We look at each other, no way. There's no way. Without saying anything, we turn around. We run back into the dance floor. There is a spot by the door. We dance so hard for the entirety of that song. Guys,
It was what was the song it was mixed with? It was something. Because then it gave it more of a dance.
I think I got
fun vibe.
Guys, I'm not joking. We were, you know that there's, okay, here's our SNL sketch for the week. The SNL sketch where I think it's a Lonely Island where Andy Samberg is a DJ about to drop the beat. And like he has the
I think
button.
he's like hosting. Like it wasn't when he was on.
He
It's
has
a
like
newer
the
sketch.
button and he's going
And
like,
then it's going, when will the beat drop? When will the beat drop? And he keeps going,
And when he finally does it, like everyone's heads explode. I felt like my head was exploding.
Like you had such a real feeling.
That DJ was that girl from
Because he kept surprising us with what songs he was tossing. That's why it felt like Challengers, because he was throwing other songs. Whoa! He's putting Charlie with Challengers! Well, I guess that's kind of expected, but there was other stuff. That wasn't his pick.
Guys, it was immaculate. It was amazing. And the way that our Uber ride kept like going up in terms
Because
of like
then we
how
were
long
singing,
it was
so
taking.
remember when we started with the Uber driver, though?
Yeah.
So guys, when we leave,
We get into none other than Fernando's car.
So remember how we talked about remember full
Guys,
circle.
it all comes back together.
you.
We Anthony Bourdained you, yeah.
I think that was just for one episode.
Yeah.
I don't think because his Scotland one, he didn't go
so
backwards.
I guess 3 pals wrecked so far.
I'm sure they're watching
Anthony Bourdain, South Korea.
I think we're behind on the Anthony Bourdain train.
Yeah. Andy
Bourdain train?
Samberg,
Did people
When
say
Will
that?
the Beat Drop? And then what was the other one? There was one other one.
The Chris Fleming.
Ah, yes, Chris Fleming talking about lesbians. So I think
That's a pretty good lineup.
pretty good lineup. for you guys.
Well, and then the other one we were gonna say, because I feel like we can talk about this one, before we have to take a break, was we got back, and the next day we ended up spending the day, like we went to some beautiful vineyards again with those people we had went out with, and that was lovely. And then when we got
all of us going
home-
from like the clubs the night before, Caleb actually using his butt to like launch us across bars.
Again, a
To
weapon.
then like all of us just like sitting
a
outside.
weapon
like,
of ass destruction, as anyone said that before.
I'm sure
Someone
sure.
had.
Yeah,
I know
No,
there's an
we'll
Etsy
look it up
page.
and we'll we'll find them.
But if not,
Weapon
I'm
of
happy to
ass
join the
destruction. That's amazing. Wow. And if no one has done it, it'll be on the merch page.
Yeah.
Soon.
Yeah. So we get home after spending a lovely day, getting to kind of like laugh about the night before and like chat and then actually have earnest conversations with people. Now that we've broken down some barriers, we've danced to Robin mashed up with Ariana together. We are at a new level, so we can start talking about things, having some vulnerable moments. We get home and it was my sister-in-law's birthday, and they had invited some like friends of theirs over who are couples, and they had brought their kids. And when we realized, because at first we were like, oh, we're just having dinner, lovely. When we realized that they were all spending the night,
Because the little, like, one of the little girls, I'm not joking, one of like the sweetest and most intelligent.
She
She
looked-
like 2 or like
yeah,
1.5.
she's 2 and she's gonna be a genius because both of her parents are so smart.
She remembered, like, we had met her in the summertime.
yeah, which for a
I met
2-year-old,
her.
that's like a quarter of your life.
Yeah, met her one time in the summertime. She was like not talking a ton.
Yeah.
And they said that on the way there, she was like, oh, are they going to be there? I remember them.
Yeah.
For a child, like,
And
a
I believe she did.
1.5-year-old
Yeah.
to remember that is insane. Anyways, so we're there, and it was just like
was
such
like,
a
oh.
beautiful juxtaposition.
Yeah.
Of-
Of just being like this sweet, like, and we were having a blast.
Yeah.
Just like getting to talk with all of them.
But we realized because she was they were putting her in her pajamas, and they were blowing up an air mattress, and we were like, oh my gosh, like, it's a sleepover. And I feel like it was because they've all been friends forever.
These are all like my brother's friends that he met in college and then has like stayed best friends. It's just been, they've been able to like move together in a weird way, even though they don't like work together anymore. It's been very, very cool to see. And they love Gabe. We will do a whole episode on that, but they, brotherly love, but we did.
Okay, so they were all over there, and it was just very cool to be around like all of these different types of people, and also married couples who all like there were 3 kids around and 2 dogs, and it was just a really cool, I don't know, it's just a really great time to like be in those spaces and to remember there's always other components to living. And
But Millicent and I did have a moment, and we will talk about the sweet stuff more, but we had a moment where we
were playing Jackbox.
We were playing Jackbox games, as you do in these sweet moments. We were having a great time, and Millicent had an answer that, like, it was one of the anonymous ones put up there, and I was like, I know that's my pals. So then when it was revealed to be Millicent, I went, I knew that was yours, brother. And Millicent leaned forward and was like,
hell yeah.
hell yeah. And then Gabe goes,
Her actual brother.
my real brother goes, that wasn't, because he didn't see that I was looking at Millicent, and he goes, that wasn't my answer. And I went, like, the true shock
Both of us
in
going,
my mind of like, I wasn't even thinking about my real brother when I said brother. That's my
And
blood.
Maddie
And
had to say,
I
was
forgot
talking
my own blood.
Maddie had to say, I was talking about Millicent, and he was like, what the heck? It was
because again, the true betrayal felt that it did not cross my mind that I might be talking about him. Because that's not the kind of relationship my brother and I have in that way.
It was funny because when I was back home, I have 3 brothers, and there were a couple of times where I called them brother, and I realized I didn't ever really call my brothers
Yeah.
brother. So it was funny to have that shift in
It's
my
more
vernacular.
just a thing we say now.
Yeah.
So we were spending this lovely family time, and then to get to wake up in the morning, and everyone was still there, and we had like one of them, the dads had gone to get breakfast and like brought it back.
It truly,
The little girls had matching. My niece and the other little girl had matching pajamas.
and you better believe we got two
And
adorable
one's little and one's
Polaroids.
big.
Yeah, no, they're absolutely adorable. At one point, the 2-year-old I was in the kitchen getting something, and I was talking to her mom, and she goes, "Will you sit at the table with me?"
And
Yeah,
guys,
you
she
better
had-
believe I'm going to sit at the table with you. Let me sit right down. What an honor. Thank you for asking. And we're going to chit chat.
Just to get, there is something so beautiful about seeing, you and I had talked about this a lot, like on the drive home, of being like, it's so fun to have seen, and we have a few friends now that have had kids, and getting to see these people that we love so dearly as friends, like more of peers, are having children, and they're still themselves, but they just have this new perspective that's so beautiful to
Yeah.
learn from, and just like, and again, it's just, the sweetest part is that they're still themselves at their core.
Yeah.
Like, they still are that fun person that has sleepovers,
Yeah.
and like,
It's a really cool thing to see people like still being intentional about, well, yes, I'm a parent now, and that's going to be a part of who I am, not who I am. Like, it's not going to change all
Yeah.
these things that I already love. And yeah, it takes effort. Like, it's not the easiest thing in the world. Like, at one point, we're playing Jackbox games, and one of the dads is in the other, like, in the room over, looking through the window at the game, and he's rocking the bassinet as he's like typing the answer on his phone. And I just think that was really, seeing that was honestly really, really inspiring in a really cool way.
yeah, and I think also the thing
That's
we have,
community too.
yes, that's the thing I was gonna say that we have in common with, and again, like, if you feel like we're not around like families that often, so we were kind of out of our element, but the thing that we really have in common with that specific group especially is when you are like a plant in a new city, like you have moved to a different place, you are really, when you do get community, you're so grateful for it. It's because like you're kind of scrapping it together, because you don't like you weren't raised there, like you don't inherently have just like friends you went to high school with. So I think that group too has specifically moved around the country a lot together. Like, they all lived in Florida together, and then they all lived in San Diego together. So it's like they are each other's family at this point, and to see them put value on that in the same way that we do, but like it just looks a little different, was so special.
Yeah. No, I don't know. It was just really exciting. And so if you're a pal out there and you have kids and such,
Like make
try to do the sleepover thing. It was
yeah,
really cool.
I know,
And
that's
also
a lot.
Also, too, it was like everybody getting to be together. I think it also gave each of the parents, I can't totally speak to this, but I feel like it gave each of the parents, like, they could walk out of the room real quick because there were other parents in the room. And even like the kids everybody's got an uncle that they're not related to. Everybody's got an aunt they're not related to. And just even hearing the other kids refer to Gabe as like
Uncle Gabe and like
yeah.
and like Auntie like Caroline and
It's just
Auntie
like
Alex.
actually so sweet, and it was beautiful. And it was another situation again. We don't have kids. We are not married, so
No.
they are at such. One of them is a doctor on call.
Yeah, that's why she was like, well,
Meanwhile,
I may as well
we're going-
spend the night because I'm like gonna have to be
Yeah.
up basically.
Meanwhile, us here are our merch prototypes.
you guys want to see? Their kids like, mommy, I want dinner.
Yeah,
We're like, and can you
I
feed
need
us emotionally?
sustenance. Yeah,
Can you validate our feelings? And that's what we get out of hanging out
Yes.
around families.
so that was another space that we were in this weekend.
Yeah.
and there was one final space.
The final space
The
of the
final
weekend.
frontier. No.
The fi-
Well, I guess the final frontier of the
the
weekend.
final frontier
yeah.
of the weekend, because this was kind of a long weekend for a lot of people because of MLK Day,
Mm-hmm.
and so we got invited to an MLK Day / like going away party for one of our friends, and guys, it was
brilliant.
incredible.
It was amazing. So
We'll see you on the other side.
see you on the other side.
Pals.
Ground control to Major Pals. Ground control to Major Pal.
That's you.
Take your protein pills. What is that?
What do you
I guess they took protein pills, right?
What?
He says take your protein pills and put your helmet on.
I guess they probably have to take protein.
That makes sense. Astronauts, are you taking protein pills?
Because don't their muscles kind of
That song is so moving. When he gets up there and he's like, tell my wife I love her. And then they go, and ground control gets to say, she knows.
They're all crying.
She knows.
Everybody's crying in ground control.
Ground control's reaping.
Not a dry eye in ground control.
Ground
I'll tell
control's
ya.
embracing each other.
I remember the first time I heard that song was Walter Mitty.
Yeah.
Walter Mitty, incredible movie.
That movie is great too. It
I would
really
rewatch
evokes
that.
something in people and
I
dreamers.
might rewatch that some.
Great. Yeah. So again, new spaces, new faces. We get invited to an MLK Day party that's also a going away party for our friend Jayla.
Jayla is our friend who we met through our other friend, Ashley. And it's one of those people, she is one of those people that you meet and you're like, I want to have happy hour with you minimum. I need to hear your story. And
She needs a docu-series.
we need a crew following her at all
because
times.
the way she's living her
Iconic.
life is has no time to rest during the day. She is everywhere
move.
doing everything. She knows everyone.
Everyone.
But she's just also such a genuinely
Yeah.
fun and nice person. And so
Yeah.
we instantly connected with her
Yeah.
when we met her. So we've hung out with her a few times.
When we got the text, we got a screenshot of the text from Ashley of Jayla saying, tell Melissa.
Selling her
like,
the invite, sending her the invite to Ashley and saying, bring Millicent and Maddie.
you guys?
And we're there.
And go ahead
Getting
and
to
sign
hit
me up.
going on that
Party Full. Party Full is a party.
Seeing that Jayla hearted my
invitation app.
message.
Love it.
Yeah. It's very
I
helpful.
realized I was like, I don't know that I didn't know Party Full until like a
it
year
really
ago.
took
Really,
the party going, and I even like birthday party going world by storm. I get party fulls for everything.
yeah, it's just nice. It
Yeah.
really makes it easier.
I have seen on TikTok those girlies that started sending party fulls for being like movie in the living room later tonight, like silly things, and then the roommate could just hit going. We got to start doing that. I know.
Yeah.
So we got invited.
And we knew two things going into this. We knew one, that any party that Jayla is throwing means that it's going to be people that know Jayla, meaning it's just going to be like
Jayla approved people.
The
too. Like, she
most-
was picking her friends that she wanted
just
to say
like-
goodbye to.
the most interesting, fun, down to like party, hang,
Yeah.
chat, all like dance, everything. We knew going into that, yes, that's amazing. And the second thing we knew, and guys, we knew that it was a going away party, yes, but it was also an MLK Day barbecue. And in this moment, we feel like let's have a little press conference real quick.
Press conference moment here because
Press
we
conference.
don't want to show. Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You guys, we don't know if you've realized this at this point,
And we
especially
don't want to scare you. If you've only
don't want
listened to us on
anybody-
audio, if it wasn't blatantly clear.
I know we sound ambiguous.
Yeah, where are they
beyond
from? Where are they
all
from?
get
And that's the
out.
extraterrestrial aspect of us. That's why you can't quite pin it. But we are.
We are white. We're two white girls.
We get it.
We get that.
We understand how we look. We
We
understand the
see-
vibe we bring with that.
We know the connotation and also the privilege of that. Obviously.
Absolutely.
Not lost on us for a second, we promise.
So getting this invite was an honor because we knew likely that we would be one of the few white people there. What an honor.
Guys?
What a blessing. I gasped when I saw that text message.
And going into this and going into spaces, truly, it is all about what you are bringing in terms of your mindset, and also just being like, in this specific situation, seeing this charted on our journey path,
Yeah,
whatever they
for
have, the coordinates or whatever, seeing those coordinates and being like, I am there to do whatever is needed of me. Whatever is wanted or expected
whatever
of me, I'll do it.
This vibe is going to bring, I'm going to be right there with it.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
going to take whatever it wants to give me.
If there's a spill, I'm on
do
the
it.
spill. You know what I mean?
I'm clocking it. I'm helping with it. I'm carrying things. I'm helping. We need more chairs. I'm on it.
Hopefully, yeah. And if I'm in a tight hallway, I'm moving through it. You know,
I
not.
am a top tier guest.
Yes.
I am here to add to the environment of your
Yes.
home, not subtract.
Yes.
And
It really is just like what an honor to like get to like to be invited into this space, because like recognizing that it's not like, I don't know. It is just an
they don't
honor
have
because
to. And we also understand that, like, especially white people stepping into spaces where they are the minority, they're typically, a lot of times, they are not holding the correct amount of space for that. They are taking up too much space. And we wanted to make sure we were not taking up too much
Yes.
space and just adding to that.
yes. And our pals, like, please, our POC pals, our POC pals,
POC pals.
our POC pals, chime in on this, please. Like whatever,
If
like
we're- yeah.
perspective wise of
Please help because we're trying it. If we're doing
Yeah.
something that's a little wrong,
of like perspective wise of how to be a gracious guest. I think a gracious guest like coming into a space where it's like, hey, how do I cause the
yeah.
the least amount of a disruption
Yeah.
and or discomfort or anything? No eggshells around me. You ain't
No.
gotta walk on nothing.
But going into this, coming in with Ashley to anywhere, you could be walking into a McDonald's. People are noticing you.
Yes.
People are looking at you.
Ashley is the
because-
most beautiful person I
have ever seen.
You guys, it's both effortless yet so clearly like well done.
So just like to
and
her core. So
if you're going to be walking into a room of strangers and you have one mutual, like, well, we didn't have just her because we also
actually
knew
knew a
J-Lo.
few
We
of
knew
the friends
yeah, we
and a
met
few
a
of
couple
J-Lo's
of them,
friends, yeah.
which was awesome to
Amazing,
reconnect with
yeah.
them. Instantly great. And to get a happy hour on the books in the future, that's a big thing too. With
walking
going
out
to
of there
parties,
with set plans for the future. Cha-ching.
I think that should truly be like a good goal for people to have
Yeah,
of like,
to, like, let's
going
move
to events
outside
and
of
being
tonight.
like even beyond even just Instagram being like, let's do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Seriously, let's do
Let's
this.
do it.
Let's take it beyond.
Let's take advantage. Let's make this party last.
But if you're walking into a party and you have somebody, especially a party where, again, we are the two white girls walking in here.
Yeah.
If we're walking in, there is nobody better to vouch for you than
Yeah.
for people to be like, oh, they're with Ashley.
there was multiple times.
Us being like, yeah, we're with Ashley.
it's like the best.
We're
It's
like-
like slapping down one of them platinum credit cards.
Yeah.
Being like, yeah, you hear that?
You hear that?
Ding, ding, ding. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
going for gold. I'm getting
Yeah.
triple the mileage points, baby.
Yeah.
So we walk in, and the multiple conversations we get into, like if different men were talking to us, we'd be chatting, and we'd be like, oh, like how do you know? Like eventually the conversation, usually the conversation, which was so exciting, got to get to, oh, how do you know Jayla? And then you get to hear like these fun stories of how
Because
everyone
again,
knows Jayla.
Jayla is living.
She's doing different
She
activities.
is living in all caps, baby. And so the different ways that like just that's
People
another
had met her was
yeah.
so fun to hear.
So it was a going away party, and because of that, Jayla has known Ashley since high school. They like,
Yeah.
and she's now moving back to their hometown. Anyway,
So like a
the
lot
whole
of people, even if they don't know Ashley, if they know Jayla, they know Ashley because Jayla talks about Ashley, and because they're such good friends.
Yes.
So we get in there, and multiple times talking to men, we'd be like, "Oh, like we know Ashley who introduced us to Jayla," and they'd be like, "Ashley,
Ashley, you know Ashley.
wow." One guy was like, "She's got a great energy." As
we
Ashley's
turn-
like,
literally, we turn around. Ashley is fully twerk. Like it just, and also, guys, the way that
And
Ashley
he was
enters
right.
a room, I'm not joking. First of all,
let's tell him how we entered the room.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
So we get out of Ashley's. Ashley has driven us there in her large Jeep. She picked us up. She's so mommy for that.
she really is.
Ashley is so.
She even had
mommy.
like at one point I was like hungry in the car and I was like, I'm trying not to eat these cookies that we had brought. And Ashley goes, oh, check my emergency box. I've got snacks in there. And I just like got to dig through a pack of like
She's so prepared.
snacks and stuff. It was amazing.
So we get there and we're carrying in like the food, and so then I'm carrying in the
Ashley
speaker.
had fried some chicken.
Yeah,
You guys-
incredible. It was a Texas barbecue, you guys. The food was otherworldly.
I had so many beans.
So many beans, guys.
Guys, I couldn't stop.
So
Anyways.
we're walking in.
Ashley has Maddie holding a plate.
A speaker that I didn't know was going to be on as we were entering. I thought it was for the party.
I'm holding my case of White Claws. Mistake. Should have brought tequila.
No, but people did like the White Claws. I
Yeah,
think
they
like
were
the-
gone. They were gone.
Then we brought those iced cookies. We felt like we needed to fill our role, and we felt like bringing a sweet treat was kind of our role. So we brought those little iced sugar cookies that I know people have strong opinions about.
but
and I will
but
say
they're gone.
They were gone.
They were gone. They were gone fast. I'll say, listen, and also, I would say that if you have a party with more than 20 people, which this was, you have a party with more than 20 people, you bring a pack of those cookies out. Like, in terms of the statistics, there will be more than
So
enough
enough
people that
people
are
are
going to
gonna
want
eat
those
that
cookies.
pack.
Yeah, yeah,
And-
yeah.
and
So
I'm
we brought
one
the
of
white people cookies because, and that was our,
That was like we're bringing what we could, what we feel like.
because at
is
the end
our
of the day,
little
sure,
pizzazz.
we could bring a side dish. That's
It's
going to
not
be
gonna
humiliating.
compare.
That's going to, nobody's going to want it.
And it's gonna be empty, and then the flies are gonna eat it. So we're walking in.
We walk in. Maddie has a speaker. Ashley is playing a gospel like funeral song, so loud. We're walking,
Mm. So
and she
loud.
throws
In a neighborhood.
Open, she throws open the door. Maddie has a plate of chicken. I'm carrying a box of White Claws and the white person cookies on top. And Ashley like bursts in, and she like goes instantly to Jayla and does like it's doing a whole number. It's amazing, guys.
It's
the whole room,
incredible.
just
The production value.
just absolutely amazing. And she sells it. That's what it is. She
People are
sells
watching.
it.
People know that is
Yeah.
Ashley.
Yeah. So it was wonderful. But I think in that moment, there is like that initial, again, knee jerk of there is a commonality here that I don't share with everybody. And there is a like, again, that knee jerk reaction. And it's just literally about sit in it for half a second,
and you're
get
like,
over
oh,
it,
never mind.
and then be a human being.
I also just think those walls are so much thinner than we think. Like, the differences should bring us together, and getting to learn about each other's differences, and then being like, oh, I actually have so much more in common with you than, like, me being like, oh, I'm from Texas, and you're from, I'm not from Texas, I'm from Maryland. They were all from Texas.
Yeah. We had one conversation. It's so funny, too, like, having conversations with people, and it is like, there will be that one thing they say where it's like, we're moving now. We were talking
we had a few, because that's the
talking
fun.
to this.
You conversation's a game.
Oh, I love it.
You gotta dig, and then once you hit that bing, 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 you're in.
Well, also it was great because like Ashley too, again, the best person to
arrive at a party with
by far. And the way that Ashley too would float around the room, we'd be like talking to people
With
or whatever,
grace.
and then Ashley would come back over, pull us somewhere else, introduce us to other people, and then leave us, and it was just so great because it was just
graceful. She's like such a great host, and it wasn't even her party.
Yeah.
But that was like such a helpful job for someone to do because there were so many people there.
I really just felt like the Carole King, where you lead, I will follow.
Yeah, she was so kind about introducing us to people.
And then everybody that we got to like reconnect with was really fun too, because then we got to like, but we had so many conversations where, first things first, I loved the fact that we left the party and like actually had Instagrams and contact info for people.
So many people were just like, hey, let's stay connected. We met one woman who was from the DMV area, and we were like, so then we talked about that for a while.
Yeah, and she had a really cool perspective of just like how she really loved growing up in the DMV, because it was like, it was almost a culture shock to move to Atlanta, because she said that the DMV was, because of DC in particular and ambassadors and like just all of that.
It's pretty diverse.
And it's where people are going to send their foreign exchange students.
Or like people vacationing, or people visiting.
So like it really is a like culturally diverse area. Yeah. And then she said that like Atlanta was like really just like 2 or 3 main ones, but then LA is like a lot of that too, where it is like there are so many different communities and cultures out here
that you can like learn from and be a part of.
And she was talking about how she was just saying that she like loves getting to see all of them, and that's like one of the fun parts. And we were just talking, we were all talking about it at that point, because it was like, because guys, other cultures party in ways that you can't even fathom.
They've got these flares that
I just feel like I'm like, I want to know how everyone is partying. I want to know how everybody is having a good time. I want to know. Tell me.
And I think that's why Anthony Bourdain was so appealing to us, because we were like, he's just getting to go vibe in this like new area.
Crazy that we had never watched him before either. We put him on and we were like, this is going to be a new little thing.
And also crazy that kind of became our theme for the week.
Yeah.
Wow.
The way it just kind of comes together.
And that's the space. And we were conscious of making sure. Also, whenever we go to any friend, we've tagged along to a lot of parties. So whenever you tag along to a party, I am just trying to be aware in general of being like, I know I'm a guest here. And like, I'm not trying to like take over this party. This isn't my party. I will be a participant, but I'm not going to whatever.
One thing, my mama raised me to go in, say hello to the host, obviously, and to make sure you say hello to the host again.
Say thank
before you
you.
go. And guess what? You're going to pick up your plates.
Bring something. Don't come empty-handed. So, we were just participating, doing our part, but we tried to do our best. And we would like to try and get a performance review from our dear friend Ashley.
So we are going to do our very first Pals call-in.
We're going to see if it'll work. She is at work, but she told us we can try and call her.
So because we left, and again, we are always looking to grow. We are always looking to learn. Let's be clear about one thing. We are so stupid. We're just little babies.
This profile picture for her?
Oh my God.
I'll put it up on the screen.
She is just
it's
wow.
just beautiful. That's how she looks on the daily
So
when she shows up.
That's the thing though. And the big part about doing this is you got to watch tape. You got to know. You got to
because we're not perfect, so I'm sure that we could improve. So we're going to call Ashley for a performance review. Hello, Ash. You are on the podcast right now. I have you on speaker. We are currently talking about how much fun Jayla's party was, and we wanted to get a bit of a performance review from you, how we performed.
Oh, like, Okay, so like you're just like your vibe review? Is this a
Well,
vibe review?
Ashley, let's be honest. We were the two white girls rolling up. So how did we do in terms of that? How did we?
Are the home girls. Like, everybody loved y'all. And I didn't.
Guys-
I mean, like, you know, I love you, but I
Yeah.
didn't invite you. Jayla met you guys like once or twice, and she was like, "Make sure you invite Maddie." And Melissa.
No,
And it
that
was in honor of a lifetime.
and this isn't us digging for compliments. We want to
No.
improve. You know us.
Yeah.
We you know if
So if we had any sort of party fouls,
You guys did great. Everyone loves y'all. Y'all were the best. Like, other than me, I mean, I was alive at a party.
well,
no,
Ashley, and that's been clear. We
let's-
have been telling everyone that you are the best person to arrive with because people know Ashley.
yeah. No, we've already been talking about you for 5 minutes straight.
Yeah.
So you're already coming in with a reputation. We talked about just everybody, like people coming up to us and we would say who we came with, and the guys would be like, "You came with Ashley?"
They could not.
Oh wait, because there was guys that were kept talking to y'all. I kept seeing, I was peeping, but you know, I was just letting y'all do what y'all do. But were they like talking to you? Were they like
But Ashley,
talking to you?
but when they heard that we were friends with you,
That's
one guy
why
was
they-
like, "She has an amazing energy," and
He
we were
was
like,
like-
"We know."
He said, I feel like she's got amazing energy. You guys have a good energy too, but I mean, hers is
and we
just,
were like, "No, we understand."
we said the only reason we have a good energy is because we're basking in hers.
"Yeah, yeah, oh yeah." We said that we said that we're your moon, you're the sun, and we're your moons. And he was like, "Wow, that's really beautiful."
Dang, I wish I knew what guy that was. I probably don't even know who the hell you talking about.
We got his Instagram.
We'll tell
we
you
can
his name later. We'll tell it off camera.
Okay.
Anyways,
So,
wait.
side note, love the jacket / coat or whatever that Jayla gave you. Perfect for you. Perfect for you.
Ashley, thank you so
Oh, yeah.
much, guys. If you
Jayla-
Jayla at the end of the party as we're leaving walks me into her bedroom and is like, "I'm giving this to you," and it was a large white coat. I should have worn it on the
Gorgeous
episode.
coat.
Beautiful.
Guys,
Hey, wear it again, because it looks really good. I feel like it was meant for you.
Ashley, thank you.
well, there was the one girl who was your friend who also saw Maddie, and it was like, dang, I would have liked that jacket. And Maddie
And I
instantly
was
was
like-
like, you can have it.
I was so,
No. And then I was like, no, Maddie, this is your jacket.
and I needed that, and I needed that.
Ashley, you had to, yeah.
I'm glad you guys came with me. We're going to party more. I think we may go out this weekend, so.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, you let us
Listen.
know.
This is thrilling.
Okay,
You
I
know,
will.
you just shoot us a text and we're
All
there.
right, we love you, Ashley.
Love
Thank you
you.
so much.
I
Give
love you guys too.
Arcanine a kiss for us.
He's literally right here staring at me like, who are you talking to?
Oh, tell him it's his
Arky.
aunts.
I will. Maybe I'll come by later and see you guys and just say hi.
Please do.
Please do.
All right.
We're here all
I
day.
love you guys.
Love
Love
you.
you too.
Talk to
See
you
you
later.
later.
Bye.
Bye.
That feels like, first of all, we want to be clear about one thing. We didn't prep her with this.
No,
we
no,
didn't.
no.
So, and this was not us digging for compliments.
Yeah, I'm actually a little embarrassed by
I'm
how that
actually a
turned
little
out.
embarrassed by
I
how
was hoping
sweet
she-
and earnest that
and that's the
conversation
thing
was.
about Ashley. She is just like
You know-
so kind too, and she'll roast you when you need to be roasted,
Mm-hmm.
but she's also very sweet. And
She's the one that, like, if I were to be making an outfit decision that I wasn't totally sure about, I would want to go to her first because I know that within 0.3 seconds
she'll give me the truth.
she'll tell me. She's gonna tell me, and she'll also sometimes, instead of even telling me, she'll just pose it back as a question.
Yeah,
She'll go that,
yeah.
and that's enough for me.
Yeah.
So
It's you guys heard a little bit there. Something about her is magnetic,
and she knows it, and I think that's the most powerful part about it.
and she wields that power well.
Yeah, she really does.
She's kind with it, like that, as you can see.
Again, that literally feels like we had planted that to like.
I know. I'm
fish
sorry.
for
I'm like
compliments.
actually
I actually
really
feel
embarrassed.
kind of awkward. Ashley, wish you had been meaner to us.
Yeah, and that's okay. We can do it off camera.
All that to say though, we had a great time this weekend, and like I don't know. I know that we both are always gonna love the opportunity to be in new places because it is truly just like, and I hate saying it, it's like an adventure.
Yeah, and that's the final frontier.
Yeah.
Space.
And you cannot connect with people.
Endless.
Like truly connection at some point is going to feel uncomfortable, and that is literally part of it. And that is the most important part of like actually
growing pains.
solidifying a connection is working through that discomfort and not walking away from it. And like that discomfort is so valid, especially when you do feel like you might be on the outside of something, whether that's parents or like whether that's a group of parents, a gay bar, or an MLK Day barbecue. Whatever it is, like I don't know. And we don't also, I don't know, we're not like equating all of those on the same level or whatever.
No,
And
it just was the theme of the weekend in big and small ways.
Yeah.
And it felt, I think especially, I actually hadn't thought about this. if you all remember a few episodes when we were in the unknown, I had a bit of a earnest moment where I did say I was feeling a little lately, and I think that was just because we had just been home so much, like because of the fires and all that kind of stuff. And this, what a remedy.
What an anecdote.
Getting to be in new spaces, new faces.
It's just been an absolute honor.
And the air in San Diego, so much clearer.
Oh my God,
we needed that. We were sucking that in
gulping
as we
up.
could.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So your challenge for this week is just to simply explore some new spaces and to put yourself in places and to just challenge yourself to just like connect with someone new. And I don't know.
Even if it's not normally the person that you would be like, oh, I'm going to be best friends with this person. It's like,
yeah. And it's also,
you might be.
if we are fully confining ourselves to people who have the same experiences, perspectives, and opinions as us at all times, you're not going to grow.
We're never going to learn.
You're going to be in an
anything.
echo chamber, and you're not going to grow, and you're going to end up spiraling into something. That sounds
And
so
this is why,
scary,
like,
but like,
history repeats itself. Though it's like we just need to learn from each other.
yeah. And the more that we're willing to have like conversations, or to even just like literally just connecting with people on
Because
something
also
so
once
small.
you understand why a certain person thinks a certain way, you know how to converse with them
Yeah.
and kind of get your like thoughts out there so much better.
Yeah. And it makes your world bigger, because if your world is small, and your world doesn't have to be big in like a numbers way, just
No.
big in a like awareness and
I've
perspectives.
learned things.
And like,
Yeah. Truly, my grandparents all the time, I feel like when we ask them for a main piece of advice, they're like, travel. Like, you need to meet other people outside of, especially America. Like, you just need to get out of this because it is different.
Yeah. And even though America is so cool because there are so many pockets and places that you can find, and it is just going in and being
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, it's here too.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
supposed to be the
I
beautiful
just-
part about it.
I relish getting to know and be a part of other people's status quo. Because ours is just, it just becomes such a rhythm that when you get to kind of join someone else's rhythm, it's so fun. And
Yeah, I think that's like why when traveling, I think it's really good to have at least 1 to 2 days where you are just in a place.
part of the
you get to just
scenery.
have a day in a town.
To be like, what's it like to live here? And we
Yeah.
did that when we were in Ireland
and it
or in
rocked.
England. Yeah.
It really rocked. But
So that's your challenge for the week.
yeah, go into some new spaces, places, faces.
You
You
no,
got
we
it.
can't.
No.
That was last week.
I'm not joking, Maddie. I watched your mouth go into
I
the
know,
yeet,
I know. We
and
felt
I
it.
had
It-
almost
We keep trying to sing that song and
It's in my bones now.
Fernando's.
It's in my Oh, and keep an eye out for Fernando.
Yeah, he's hitting the charts soon, folks.
Well, he told us what he would do, what his music name would be, and we were like, "You have to do that."
we can see the album cover
It
already.
rocked. We love you guys. Also,
Signing off from space.
But if you want to still stay in touch with us while we're in space, at Won't You Be My Pal is our handle on everything. That's Instagram, YouTube. I'm pretty sure it's the Spotify name, or Spotify is just Pals.
Yeah.
Instagram, YouTube, TikTok.
And if you want to write into us, you can go to heytherepals.com.
Hey There Pals.
Tell us about your friend that you love, your pal that you love.
You can call us as well. Leave
We
us
need
a
to
message.
memorize that number.
Yeah, it's just a number. It's just a phone number.
But we
you
should be able
can-
to say it.
Yeah, that would be good for us. We'll make a jingle maybe. You can call us and leave us a message, or you can also text us as well.
No one's really texted us yet, and we're
I don't.
waiting
Well,
for
we
that.
haven't advertised that you can text
Yeah, I
it.
don't
You
know that
can
we said
text
it
it,
as much.
but International Pals messaging rates may apply.
Yeah, sorry.
Also, we will be maybe by the time this is out. I don't know when the merch will be here.
Yeah, and you got to follow us on Instagram to find out. We
Instagram,
have
yes.
merch coming. I might be flashing a few up here.
Yes, but it's heytherepals.com. That's for all of it. Circle up below in the comments. Let us know what you think. Give us some more perspectives.
Yeah.
Offer just some insight from.
Offer a kind word to somebody else.
Yeah.
And
Stay.
stay
spacey.
spacey. Oh.
Oh,
We haven't even really said Palaxy. Oh, guys. This whole episode, the whole point was so that we could say we're in the Palaxy. Oh, we should have made a sign that says this way to the Palaxy. Having a space. What would a space sign look like? If you're an artist, let's envision that for a moment, because would it
be
look
a stop sign because it wouldn't have a pole?
It
Why would
doesn't.
you
That's
need
what I
that?
mean.
Yeah,
So would
yeah.
it be like a floating billboard?
I would think an
essentially?
orb.
A hologram.
I'm thinking an orb, and the ring is the like word.
Ooh.
And
but
it
are
kinda
you
just, like,
driving through space? Is that too difficult to read? Like, what's going to be the easiest to read?
I'm imagining it's like a ring on Saturn with the text like floating around.
I'm also imagining we would have technology at that point that from whatever angle you were seeing it at, you could read it correctly.
Yeah. You guys thought you were
So-
done with the episode. We were really winding down, and then that happened.
We had to figure out space billboards.
The
Space
Palaxy, guys.
advertisements,
So
space
just pretend
advertisement.
that this whole time we were saying Palaxy. Maybe I'll make a we can have just a fun Palaxy graphic that just comes up, and
Yeah. We'll think about it.
yeah. Anyways, this is weird. We should have ended us. How do we
Goodbye
end this?
from the we'll float away.
Ground control to Major Pals.
Pals. Oh, yeah.